Today I learned that there's a Miku collaboration with a Sonic game which till recently I didn't even know existed. I only learned of the existence of these games through basically a friend telling me. Apparently Sonic Racing Crossing Worlds, a racing game from the Sonic franchise. There's like a shitload of these games, and the newest release, or well, about to be released, Sonic Racing Crossing Worlds, caught my attention for a very simple reason, and that is Hatsune Miku is gonna be a playable character in this game. So I wanted to just give my honest reaction to this and also talk a little bit about Hatsune Miku and how she pretty much has been collaborating with everything recently, and not so recently I've learned. She has always been collaborating with a bunch of different games in a bunch of different places, and I wanted to check a few collabs that Hatsune Miku has participated in after we watch this video. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, all the racing games I know are the Crash racing games and also the Mario Kart games. All this tricking and all this stuff is reminding me a little bit of the Mario Kart 8 or the Mario Kart World, whatever you want to call it, tricking that they do to gain boosts. And one thing that surprises me is how varied these vehicles are. Because you can see here, it's like a monster truck. Kind of weird for me that there's a monster truck in this game. Okay. Oh, there's also hoverboards apparently, because a monster truck is not enough. Eggman. Also, I don't know much about the lore, so I know that Knuckles, I know Sonic, I know Tails, and I know Eggman, but I don't really know anyone else. So if I don't recognize anyone, that's just me not knowing anything about Sonic. Featuring a huge roster of characters and tracks. Okay, from across the Sonic universe. There we go. These are the characters that I don't really know anything about because not really deep into the Sonic lore, let's say. And beyond. And this is the part that I wanted to get to, because how the fuck did Hatsune Miku end up here? Sega, that's it. That's the answer. Sega holds both of them, Sonic and Hatsune Miku. I don't know if she's gonna have like unique cars or unique effects or anything, but she might have unique music. Yakuza. I thought this was just gonna be like a Hatsune Miku trailer. Ichiban Kasuga from the... I'm pretty sure this is from the Yakuza games, right? Might be mistaken though. Joker, of course. And the Persona games. Banger music, as usual. Okay, so far, Hatsune Miku, Yakuza, and the Persona games. And a Tentacle, because, yeah. Right, because, of course, Minecraft has to be everywhere. It has a movie, therefore it has to be everywhere now. Smell that smell. And the rings are not actually emeralds, so missed opportunity there, not gonna lie. Maybe it changes for the actual release of the game, but I feel like it should be emeralds, not rings. If you're gonna just change everything, why not just change the sprites or the model of the coins as well, of the collectibles, right? Drifting across dimensions soon, Minecraft, September 25, 2025. And the first release is gonna be Steve. I wanted to talk about how Hatsune Miku has just been collaborated with a shit ton of different games, and there has been non-game stuff that she has collaborated with. Pretty sure Hatsune Miku has collaborated with Dominos Pizza, so let me check. Yeah, so it was this ad, basically.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku? Today.
Have you heard of Hatsune Miku? This is not recent, by the way. This is like, yeah, March 7, 2013. Yeah, this is not recent. This was quite a while ago. More than a fucking decade ago. This is fucking crazy, man. I'm fucking old.
New collaborative project featuring Hatsune Miku.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
To announce a new
what are these zoom-ins, bro?
Collaborative project.
Bro, what?
Hello everyone, I'm Scott. Domino's app featuring Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, this happened. This was a real thing.
In a software.
And this was the actual app.
Based on Miku's image, the Domino's app changes its appearance. A lot of music and illustrations produced by Domino's crew are here.
This was crazy.
To the order, it looks very cute.
Could you imagine being 2013 and you just go to try to get a fucking pizza because you're hungry as hell, and then just fucking Hatsune Miku's on your fucking Domino's Pizza app? Could you imagine how crazy that would be? Oh, this was crazy too.
Have some fun with Miku.
That was you could have said. The delivery of that could have been so much better.
It comes with a social camera function, and you can
Oh boy, I love that
have
picture.
some fun with Miku.
I love that fucking picture, man.
It comes with a social camera function, and you can take various poses.
Oh, isn't he a cutie? Isn't he just a cutie?
Pictures of Miku. Very cool. And
Very
last
cool.
but not least, the live performance.
Oh yeah, this was crazy. This went hard as fuck.
Start the pizza stage live and point the camera towards the pizza box, and the pizza box will turn into a live.
Isn't this fucking crazy, bro? This was 2013, and we had shit like this. Isn't this fucking crazy? Wouldn't this be so dope?
Live performance of Love for Night.
You just get fucking pizza and there's Hatsune Miku dancing on top of your fucking pizza, bro. Okay, I don't want to get copyright struck, but you get the point. Hatsune Miku on your pizza was something revolutionary that the industry was not prepared for. So, other than these collabs, I know there has been a few collabs on video games, and I actually wanted to talk about those, but before we get into that, I want to point out that she has games as well. The Project Diva games are actually the most popular games that she has, I'm pretty sure. Which are basically just reading games. These games I think are discontinued. They no longer are creating them. Megamix was the last they updated, because basically these games are just the same reading game, but they just update it every once in a while with new graphics. So you basically just get renewed graphics with the new songs, and basically just keeps iterating over itself. They announced that this was just too expensive to keep producing, so they just plugged the cord on the game, and basically they're no longer producing them. And instead now you got Colorful Stage, which is basically a gacha game, and you have a bunch of different bands that you can basically choose where to start with, and each different band has its own lore and stuff. And Hatsune Miku has some sort of appearance in every single one of the bands in some sort of different style, and it's still going, and it's still ongoing. The Hatsune Miku movie is actually based on this game, which I haven't watched, and I just wanted to give a bit of preface so we can get into the collabs now. Another reading game that is very popular, and a lot of people actually used to play it. I don't know how many people play it now, but back in the Xbox Kinect era, a lot of people played this game. It's Just Dance, and of course Hatsune Miku is in it. I don't know for how long she has been in it, but I think she has been in a multiple of the games, of course, with songs like Poppy Pro, Love Polka, Loveguard, and Tell Your Word. Of these four, I don't know Loveguard. I didn't know this song existed, but of course Evan Polka, or if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry, this song right here, which is I think one of the most popular Hatsune Miku songs. You also have Poppy Pro and Tell Your Word, are pretty much a staple. And of course it's very obvious that she collaborated with this game. She's also a reading game, but there's also more collaborations that are not as obvious, such as Tried in Blue Archive, and you might not actually know about this one. Blue Archive is actually a gacha game. It's one of the more popular ones. It was released on February 4th, 2021, and I'm pretty sure she released pretty soon after the game released, or maybe on launch. And she hasn't been back since, or at least that's what I read about it. I don't actually play Blue Archive. She has also collaborated with games such as the Persona series, Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which is a reading game. One of the guest characters on this game is actually, Hatsune Miku. And I don't know if she has any particular songs on this game, but of course, again, a reading game, it's pretty common that she's going to be collaborating with these kind of games. Another thing that's very interesting about this collapse is seeing Hatsune Miku drawn is all these different styles from these different games, or the models, let's say, from all these different games. Of course, Persona style is very particular, it's very peculiar. To me, the Persona style has always been a bit creepy. I don't know if that's just me, you can tell me in the comments below. Also, fun fact, if you didn't know, the specialist dance, or the specialist meme, actually comes from this game. Moving on, Hatsune Miku has also appeared on other games such as Destiny Child, which, if you don't know, is basically a gacha game that was recently terminated as soon as 2023, I think it was terminated, which is a game that was developed by Shift Up. If you don't know Shift Up, they're basically the creators of Goddess of Victory Nikke, and more recently, Stellar Blade. And if you don't know any of those games, God bless your soul. Why do I say this? Well, these games can actually classify as the Gunner games. If you want to check another one of the characters coming from this game, Destiny Child, this is one of them. Yeah, if you see anything specific about this character like Ashari, that's mostly what the game is about. Of course, it was very surprising for me when I learned that Hatsune Miku was actually in this game. So, moving on, we also have Phantasy Star Online 2, which was also made by Sega, and I actually believe I have played this game before. Basically, Phantasy Star Online 2 is a MMORPG. It's It's quite an outdated one. I think they released a new one, the new Genesis, this version 2, whatever you want to call it. They updated many things, but it still feels a bit outdated for me. She has skins on this game. So yeah, you have costumes on the game to basically replicate all these characters. Kagamine Len, Hatsune Miku, Megurine Luka, Kagamine Rin. Yeah, and actually a fun fact I didn't know about, on the song, the MMORPG Addict's Anthem, if you actually go to the video of the Hatsune Miku Project Diva games, and the game that she's playing and she's talking about, it's Phantasy Star Online 2. This song is basically talking about pretty much what the title of the song says, the MMORPG Addict's Anthem. And she's just basically playing this game a lot, and yeah, it's just Phantasy Star Online 2. Moving on, we also have Hatsune Miku with Monster Hunter Frontier D, which is very interesting actually. This is not a game that I would expect collaboration with, Hatsune Miku would collaborate with. So yeah, on this game you could basically get the skins and equip them on different characters. And funny thing, you could actually apply it to every character. I think every character mode, it wasn't restricted to only female characters, and you could have characters like these ones. Hatsune Miku with Battle Cats. Battle Cats is also another gacha game that has been going on for quite a bit. It's a pretty interesting game, not gonna lie. It's basically, it's actually very similar to Age of War. Basically, your objective in this game is to get to the base of the enemy and basically take it down. Of course, to do that, you have to summon a bunch of different characters or different units, let's say. Multiple kinds of units. Some are stronger, some are weaker, some are faster. You have a resource that you have to manage because, of course, all these units cost resources and they also have a cooldown to use. So yeah, basically your whole objective on this game is to get to the enemy base and destroy their base. Of course, they are also going to be trying to destroy your base, so you have to defend yourself against them. And that's basically what Battle Cats is about. It's also a gacha game because the units that you actually get them through a gachapon. And one of the gachapons was actually Hatsune Miku. And you have Hatsune Miku as a Battle Cat. And she's pretty cute. Man, Age of War, what a fucking throwback. But man, this was older era games that you used to play back when you were at school. I actually played this at home. I didn't really play this at school, but I did play this at home and it was fucking amazing. I didn't really play games while I was at school. If you don't recognize this theme song, man, I can't do anything for you. This song is just fucking amazing. Moving on, we also have Crypt of the Necrodancer. In Crypt of the Necrodancer, it's basically a reading game roguelike in which you have to defeat enemies and you basically have this constant music that is playing in the background, and you actually have to move and attack enemies on the beat. And if you miss a beat, well, depending on the character that you have, you either take damage or not move or lose a bonus or whatever. All the thing about the game is you have to move on beat, and it's very interesting. Of course, Hatsune Miku fits very well. I actually have this game, but I got Hatsune Miku right here, and I actually got this game because of Hatsune Miku. So yeah, good transformation there. Well done, Sega. Speaking of other reading games, we also have Muse Dash. Muse Dash is a very popular reading game. It's just as it sounds. There's music. There's a whole bunch of different. There's a whole bunch of music that you can play, and you have to basically tap the beats or tap the buttons at the beat of the music in order to get points. And you have a health bar. If you miss too many beats, then you actually die. Of course, Hatsune Miku is a character in this game. This game, however, has also collaborated with a bunch of different characters, such as Amiya from Arknights, Kirisame Marisa or Marisa, Reimu from the Touhou series, and a bunch of other characters that I don't actually know a lot about. We also have Hatsune Miku with Fall Guys. One of the reasons why I actually downloaded Fall Guys back, I actually didn't get Hatsune Miku, which is a very sad story. I think we all know Fall Guys, so I don't actually really have to go very in deep on this character. Hatsune Miku on Fortnite, which is very interesting because it got another conversion. I think I only played like once or twice and no more than 5 minutes each time I played Fortnite before Hatsune Miku. And once Hatsune Miku released, I immediately got the Battle Pass. I immediately got Hatsune Miku, and I played no-lived that game for like a whole week or something like that. And after I got Hatsune Miku and everything, and I played for that week, I think I uninstalled the game and I never played again. But great conversion. You got me to spend money on your game, Fortnite Epic Games. Very well done. Good conversion. And finally, the last thing that I want to cover is Hatsune Miku is in fucking Magic the Gathering. Pretty sure I've seen like people making decks or like actual decks of Hatsune Miku You can build Hatsune Miku decks on Magic the Gathering. Of course, I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I know it is very, very extremely popular. And I didn't really expect at all Hatsune Miku to be on this game, right? A collaboration between these two doesn't seem very possible, but I also don't know how many things Magic the Gathering has collaborated with. I don't know if the range of collaborations is very far, but just knowing that if I ever get into Magic the Gathering, which I might eventually, just knowing that I can just probably make a deck, a Hatsune Miku deck, and have Hatsune Miku basically beat the shit out of other people with cards and magic, just warms my soul, man. It just makes me happy. So yeah, I just basically want to talk a bit about this Hatsune Miku collaboration that have happened. Just knowing that there's gonna be more Hatsune Miku content, more Hatsune Miku collaborations, and the popularity is basically gonna keep rising. It just makes me happy because there's gonna be more content about it, and I can geek out about Hatsune Miku with more people because more people are gonna know it. Either way, if you're watching this, please leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe as well because I'm gonna be making more content. I'm actually gonna make more content on the channel. Yeah, fucking crazy. Never heard of it. Thank you very much for waiting for this long because it's been what? Almost 3 years. Yeah, August 16, 2022. And it's what? June 9, 2025. So in 2 months, it's gonna be exactly 3 years. Yeah, that's quite a while. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.